on October 28, 2015, in a small coastal town of Bluffton. 2911 calls came into Bluffton County.
911, where's your emergency?
This is 39 Pinecrest Way.
You said 39 Pinecrest Way?
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on there?
I don't know. There's been a shooting. I'm not outside.
What's going on? I can't understand you. What's going on there?
There has been a shooting.
Who's shooting?
I said someone's been shot.
The male?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, where has he been shot at?
Okay. Is the suspect still?
Hello?
I don't know where he's been shot.
Okay, I do have someone en route, okay? Are the suspects there?
911, where's your emergency?
My friend's been shot and killed.
Hello?
Hi, my friend's been shot and killed.
I can't hear you, sir. Could you say that again?
My friend's been shot and killed.
Okay, what's the address?
It's Pinecrest, 39.
39 Pinecrest, and it just happened?
Yes.
Okay, and he's there now?
Me and his roommate.
Okay, and you said he was shot?
Yeah, we're sitting outside and got shot in front of me.
Okay, and that was 39 Pinecrest, correct?
Yes.
And is he bleeding?
He got shot in the head. He's dead.
Okay. I'm getting him en route to you, okay?
Yeah.
Is the suspect still there?
I don't know. We were outside and someone shot. We didn't hear anybody. Or we didn't see anybody.
Okay. Where's your friend at now?
He's sitting outside. I ran inside.
Okay. Okay, sorry. So you said you was outside. You didn't see any suspects or anything?
No, we're sitting out back.
Okay. Did you see any vehicles or anything that come around?
No, they came from outside off the driving range.
Okay. Law enforcement is en route to you, okay? And it was just you there at the residence?
No, his roommate was home in bed.
So how much total are there at the residence?
3.
Okay. And no one saw anyone?
No, we were sitting out there and it was dark out back because the driving range is out back.
Okay.
We heard a gun talk and then 2 shots were fired. John, you all right? He's making sound.
Okay, so you say he's making sounds now? Hello, sir? Hello?
Yeah, the cops are here.
Okay. You can go ahead and speak with them, okay, sir?
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Responding to the calls, police arrive at a home in Pinehurst. Officers make their way toward the front door. As they approach, 2 men exit. The men inform the officers that they were the ones who called 911. The officers searched them for weapons, but found none. The 2 men were told to wait in the front yard as the officers continued into the residence. After clearing the house, the officers make their way to back patio. They found a male slumped over with his head resting on his shoulder. The victim's phone was still in his hand, and a large amount of blood had pulled onto his lap. Welcome back to the Criminal Minds. Have you subscribed to our channel? If not, click the subscribe button to give us a support. Police checked the backyard and both sides of the house to make sure it was safe. When the scene was secure, paramedics went to the back patio. They said the man was already dead. After that, officers called detectives and the county coroner. They saw the man had a clear gunshot wound on the right side of his head. There was blood on the wall of the house, and on one witness who said he was outside when it happened. The wound suggested the shooter was in the backyard. Detectives searched the area where they thought the shots came from. They found 2 shotgun shells in the grass. This showed where the shooter likely stood. When they stood at that spot and looked toward the victim, the view lined up with small holes in the side of the next-door house. They also found a shoe print near the shells. With this information, they called crime scene technicians to process the evidence. Detectives spoke with 2 witnesses. They confirmed the victim was 33-year-old Jonathan Shirall. One witness, Joe Ruby, said he was sitting with Jonathan on the back patio. They heard the sound of a shotgun being racked. They looked around, then back at each other. Joe heard a loud boom and saw Jonathan's head snap back. Joe was very upset and begged detectives to find who did it. The second witness, Jonathan's roommate Roberts Vox, said he had been sleeping in a back bedroom, not far from where the shots were fired. Roberts made the first 911 call, which was short. Police tested both men for gunshot residue and took them to the station for interviews and written statements while they waited for the test results. Officers also talked to neighbors. One neighbor said that right after the shots, he saw a man walk through his backyard toward the woods leading to Master's Way. The man held his shoulders high and did not seem to be in a hurry. The neighbor saw brake lights from a car stopped on Master's Way, then heard the car speed away. With this tip, detectives checked the neighborhood for security cameras. 2 houses down, they found a camera that faced Jonathan's house and got the footage. Around this time, dispatch also got a call from Jonathan Shiro's father, asking to know if his son was shot. Detectives reach out to Jonathan's parents and confirm the horrifying rumors. John's parents were devastated by the news. John's friend and former roommate, Drew Franklin, said that he received a call from John's father. Drew recalled putting his head in his hands and feeling completely lost. Drew remembers hearing John's parents' voices and how they were not the same jovial and happy as he was used to. Back at the station, investigators speak with Joe Ruby. Joe said that John had invited him over, so he stopped by after his shift ended at 11 p.m. Shortly after arriving, John shared a bizarre story with him and Roberts.
John was telling you about, tell me again what you said about this car that showed up at his house.
He told me a story like that because he said something really weird happened or something like that. He said, I can't remember if he said he heard a knock or a doorbell ring. He looked through and the people and saw a girl there. So he opened the door and she said she had car trouble or something, so she pulled into his driveway. I thought that didn't really make too much sense. So he closed the door, put some clothes on, and went out and looked at her car. He said everything was fine. And he said she tried to make out with him or something. She asked to come inside, so he told her to leave. She got in her car and left.
Did he describe the girl to you at all?
He said it was like a girl about his age, I guess decent looking at the time. All he said. We were talking about how it was weird, it's like someone's trying to chase the house or...
As far as, you say you hear the gun cocking or a slide racking?
Yeah, slide. Sound like a slide.
Okay. And what would you say, it's like a pistol or a shotgun or...
I don't think it was like a shotgun. Probably more like a pistol. Kind of loud though, so...
So, let's say...
It didn't sound like a small 9mm, so bigger.
Okay. Alright, let's say this is the house real quick, and you got one couch, this is the back door right here, you got one couch here, you got a couch here. Where are you sitting?
That's the door.
This is the back door, and this is the house.
So, I was sitting on the end of the couch.
And where was John?
Pretty sure he was kind of sitting in the middle of the couch with his coffee table in front, right in between the 2 couches.
And you're sitting there, you are talking, and when you hear the gun rack, the slide rack, about what direction is it going?
We kind of both looked over in this direction, towards the golf course and lot. To the right.
Alright. So you hear the slide rack, you look around, but about how long are you looking around before the first shot?
Well, we both pretty much immediately looked up at each other, gave each other a look like, what was that? That sounds like a gun. So we just kind of looked back and forth at each other, and then a few seconds later.
So, how many shots did you hear?
Pretty sure it was 2 shots. I was looking at John, and then hit him.
So you were looking right at him, waiting. Alright, and then what did you do?
Well, I still couldn't believe it was gunshots, and I saw the hole in his head, and I kind of got up, and I could keep shooting, so I kind of ducked and went over to the door, and I went inside. I was kind of yelling, and I was yelling for Roberts.
What were you yelling at?
So I was just yelling like, holy shit, and I was banging on Roberts' door, and he was yelling Roberts. There were shots, I think John's dead, or John's hit.
Where's Roberts even?
He opened the door, and it's right there.
So you're banging on his door. Did he open the door?
Yeah, pretty much right away, because I think he heard the shots, and he was getting up. Because I think he said he already called 911. I went up to the front where John's room was, because I didn't know if anybody was coming.
So you went into John's room and said, what are you doing to get in there?
I just went in the closet and called 911. I was kind of hiding, because I already saw his head, so I know I couldn't do anything. I don't know if they would keep shooting. And I think I was already on the phone now, and when I kind of went back towards the window, I was looking at him, and I could just see him kind of moving and making kind of like heavy breathing sounds, but I figured he didn't know he could have been alive with the way his head was.
Okay, so I don't give a shit that you are smoking weed on the back porch, okay? So there's a pipe right there, so we know you are smoking.
We weren't tonight. We didn't smoke it all tonight.
You smoke it all night.
No.
Alright, so you just keep this pipe sitting out on the back.
I guess so.
I have a reason why I'm asking this, okay? It's not to get you in trouble. I gotta put together different possibilities as to what happened in it, okay? So we can make sure we figure this out. When you do smoke with him, do you normally provide the weed, or does he want to have it, or does
He had it.
he have it? You know where he gets it from?
I don't know.
I don't have any idea at all. He never get an internal location where he goes to buy or anything
I have
like
no
that.
When asked who he believed may have done this, Joe informed detectives about a legal battle John was in regarding a joint business venture combining his restaurant with another. This joint venture was with a woman named Christy. The newly formed combined business went airy as each party accused the other of embezzling money.
John recently, said, I know that he kind of been in a bad place recently with what happened with, Pacific Cow and all that stuff. And I'm not sure what else is going on in his life specifically. And has he given, in the past few days or a week or so, any indication that things had really taken a turn?
He's been, since that happened, I talked to him today, that since then he's been a lot better. He started buying and selling comic books, and he's really excited about it. So he's been a lot happier lately.
Was there anybody that he's had problems with recently?
No, as far as just the Pacific California.
And what was the, like I know that there was
It's like a legal battle
between him and,
Roberts and the owners of Pacific Cal.
you know what their names are?
I think there's just one of Christie.
What's the nature of the legal battle?
I'm not sure. I think it's over like the control company, and then there's suits back and forth. Like, cause I guess she was stealing from the restaurant.
Stealing from,
Like, I guess
peppers or? Oh,
they all merged together. I guess.
yeah.
I guess she wasn't depositing catering checks, and she wasn't. She like switched credit cards to her bank account, and she was paying people on the table.
Investigators finished interviewing Joe. He said John was in a relationship and gave a list of John's close friends. Because Joe and Roberts told matching stories and both had negative gunshot residue tests, police ruled them out as suspects. The next day, police got security video from John's neighborhood. Cameras covered all entrances and exits, and another camera by the community pool faced the road near John's house. John's front yard was just out of view, but part of his mailbox showed on the right side of the screen. About 15 minutes before the shooting, a dark-colored sedan drove past John's house, then continued on to Masters Way. On other cameras, police watched the same car circle the neighborhood and end up near John Street again. The car stopped for about 23 seconds at the corner of Piners Way and Masters Way, even though there was no traffic. It then turned left onto Masters Way and went out of view right around the time the 911 calls were made. Detectives also checked footage from before Joe arrived to see if the mystery woman with car trouble was real. At 10:52 p.m., a car pulled into John's driveway. It looked similar to the car that circled the neighborhood later. Soon after, a dog ran into the street from John's yard. John went after the dog. A slender woman with what looked like blonde hair ran after it too, picked up the dog, and carried it back to John. To detectives, this did not look like a random meeting. It looked like they knew each other. About 50 minutes later, the woman's car backed out of John's driveway and left the neighborhood. Detectives followed the car on different cameras and were able to read the license plate, KSW 931. It matched a 2007 Toyota Camry registered to Colette Collins of Buck Point Road, Blyton, South Carolina. When they saw the DMV photo, they believed the woman in John's front yard was Colette Collins. A sharp-eyed detective also noticed the car had a unique wheel. The front passenger wheel had 7 spokes, while the others had 6. This detail made the car easy to identify. Around the same time, John's phone records came back. They showed John was texting when he was killed. He was about to reply to a message that said, "Shoot him. I don't care anymore." John's unsent reply said, "Why? What happened?" The message came from a man named Joshua. Joshua agreed to come to the police station to talk with investigators.
First, I want you to tell me about John. How do you know him? What relationship do you have with him?
I don't know, probably 10 years ago, drinking at the bars. Really into comics. Like that day we were there,
I saw a lot of comics in the house.
He's got a shit ton. He's probably got, I want to say, 20 grand in comic books. You know, I told him we'll open up something on eBay. So your bar business failed, so the fuck what? Get over it, grow up. Start a comic book store. You know, you can't just let that one thing bring you down.
When were you with him on the day he died?
Picked him up, went and to the store. We got cigarettes.
You went to the bank first, you went to the store?
The bank first. He got out, got money, went back to the store, got cigarettes. Long story short, went back to his house.
How long were you at the house before you left? You went back to the house, and what did you do again?
Well, I ate some turkey, looked at his comic books, looked up the comic books, watched Guardians of the Galaxy, played Halo 5.
So you were there for a while?
Yeah, I was there for a while, and I was supposed to go back. And I said, I got to get back to my girl and my kid. The girl needs a car to go grocery shopping, blah, blah, blah.
What time did you leave his house that day?
I'm trying to remember. I want to say 5 to 7.
What kind of car do you drive?
I got a Durango. Our other buddy said he talked to him at 12:30. Said, John told him Joe's here. I got to go. I'll call you back. And supposedly at 12:43 or 12:45, the cops were called.
After leaving the house that day, did you ever talk to John again on the phone or anything like that?
I don't think I did talk to him. He didn't sound worried about anything. As a matter of fact, he sounded absolutely like the old John that I used to know.
When you left?
Yeah, when I left. Box was there, Roberts was there.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing out of the ordinary. He was pissed at the Sydney Cal lady.
Is this something that just started the last?
It started when the lady from the Sydney Cal pulled out. Like, I don't know really what went on. And the day that I was over there, I was talking to Roberts and him. I'm like, you're supposed to be such a badass lawyer, and he's supposed to be so smart. How did this girl come in and nobody covered their ass and everything just fall apart?
Right.
And then when the Christie girl pulled out, that's when the Xanax started hitting really bad. He was prescribed Xanax before that.
How much was he spending?
I couldn't tell you that. I know that.
Do you know who he was getting it from?
I have no idea, but that's why I want to know who killed him. I honestly think he got in over his head with somebody.
As far as drugs, business?
I think money-wise.
Has he ever told you who he was in over his head with?
No. He's mentioned that he couldn't talk. He's like, I can't tell you what I did. I was like, well, I can't help you unless you tell me. John did a lot.
Well, tell us, like...
Did a lot, as in...
He did a lot of Xanax.
You mentioned turf war. Turf war usually occurs when two dealers are fighting over the same area. So what do you mean by that?
Pretty much one person's come in and f*** everybody else. So that one person is f***ing everybody else, which is pissing off every other dealer because they can't compete with prices. I have a feeling that John got in with Spitz, probably the boys on Go, somebody like that. He didn't set up. He told somebody where another dealer was that had a lot of shit. That guy, shit happened with him. You know, I can't tell you what I hear say.
You can tell us what you hear say. Is it usable? No, but it gives us a lead.
You want to help out your friend, right?
Yeah, I would like to help.
You want to find out who killed him?
Did he get hit with a shotgun? Is that true?
Possibly.
Did it happen in the front or in the back of his house?
It happened in the back.
So they walked up onto the door. Did you guys ever hear of anything that happened down there on like Buck Point Road or
Sheriff? Please, let us know. What happened on Buck Point?
I mean, nobody ever said any gunshots were fired down there.
At Buck Point, no.
Supposedly the story was that John gave some guys some information about somebody that lived down there. Some of those guys tried to hit somebody. Right. Man had nothing. And I heard shots were fired. I heard shots weren't fired. Or they tried to break into his house. And then...
How long ago was that?
It was a couple weeks ago. And if those guys tried to take out this guy, and John was in deep with money, he goes, I heard those guys had shotguns when they went after him. That's why I asked, was he hit with a shotgun? Was it in the back? And they basically drove the guy, from what I was told, insane by running around, like sneaking onto his property.
They got out.
Yeah, I'm friends with him. Yes, I know him. Our kids,
The guy at Buck Point?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Seth. I don't know if that's his brother or not. Well, I heard that he thought he saw something. Somebody fired something. He fired back. John told me whoever the boys were it was personal. Now they really killed him, because he almost shot him. Heard a door was kicked open, shots were fired. He said they fired. He fired 3 or 4 back.
Seth fired back.
That's what I heard. That's what I'm saying now.
And he's got kids in his house?
No, he sent his family away.
Okay.
This is why I was saying, did this really happen? Because how the hell is all these gunshots going off and nobody's calling the cops? I'm thinking, okay, but you just snorted one too many lines, haven't gone to bed, and because he had me walking his property with him. He was honestly afraid somebody was trying to kill him.
Let me ask you something about Seth. How well do you know Seth?
For a year, maybe. Okay. Like, he's not somebody that I've known like John. So.
Seth own any guns? Obviously, if you shoot him back, he does.
I think he borrowed a pistol, or he borrowed something. I don't know if he had a rifle on that night.
Is he a hunter? Does he have any shotguns? Does he?
I honestly don't know that. I know he had a pistol. I'm pretty sure he's got a 40 cal. I don't think he does own a shotgun. Anyways, he had told me all that was going on. At the same time, he's telling me that he thinks it's John. That's, John knows something.
So Seth is telling you that
he thinks John knows something.
About what?
About the guys coming over. Because
Okay.
John was at his house, and he said he was being really weird. He was walking around sweating. It was like, dude, I gotta go. Like, he knew.
So John was at the house before he got hit?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So John disappears, next thing you know, his house gets hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to put 2 and 2 together and say, probably had some kind of involvement.
He knew it was coming. Seth called me. Seth wasn't pissed at him. Seth was like, I just want to know who came to my house. I tell John I don't care about him. I want my house. Okay, so it didn't have anything. And I told John that. I said, he doesn't have anything. Why are these guys trying to hit him? And I was like, he's not an easy mark, he's strapped. So why are you sending guys to his house when he did get shot, so he is crippled?
During this incident?
No, he got shot up at 80.
Okay, crippled doesn't how can he walk?
So
is he crippled to a wheelchair?
He's got a cane.
He got a cane.
He's been in a cast since last November, and now he's out.
Can he drive?
He can drive, or he walks with a crutch or a cane.
What is he drive?
He's on medication now, like pain meds. He's a shell of his former self.
Does he have a regular job?
Seth, he was a landscaper until, like I said, he got shot.
What about his wife?
His wife works as a waitress.
What's his wife's name?
Colette. The guy that was on Buck Point, did he sell? Yes, he used to sell. He stopped, and everything was getting out of control. Everybody was plotting on everybody. And I sell a bag of weed here and there. He pretty much was like, it's too crazy. This is before society.
As the interview came to an end, Josh provided detectives with contact information for some of John's friends. Detectives then brought Christy, John's business partner, down to the station for an interview. Through that interview and to check her alibi, detectives were able to eliminate her as a suspect. The following day, detectives went to the address associated with the vehicle captured on camera near John's house. As they approached the residence on Buck Point Road, they spotted a vehicle matching description of the suspect vehicle, a 2007 Toyota Camry. The vehicle had the distinctive 7-spoke, front passenger wheel. The residence belonged to Samuel and Colette Collins. Detectives established that the man Josh knew as Seth was Samuel Collins. Investigators knocked on the front door and identified themselves. Colette answered the door and was asked to come down to station. She was then escorted to an interview room.
You need anything? Water? I guess you got a Pepsi there or something. But
Yeah, it's almost gone.
you like some bottled water or
Diet Coke?
Diet Coke? Give me 1 second. Right back. I'm not sure what they told you when they went out and talked to you just now.
I can assume what it's about. Whenever he said it was happened Tuesday night, that my friend got shot and killed. I was there. I know they're going to come talk to me. I've watched a lot of First 48. I know whoever's the last person that's been seen is always going to be talked to. We saw him last.
Right.
And Josh and I, he was there, but I don't know who else was there or about the day or what he did or who he talked to.
So the last time you saw him was that night?
We just want to go check up on him. I know he's been suffering with depression and the restaurant closing and everything. And, I've gone through the same types of things with depression and few thoughts, actually intense. And so I went over there to check up on him, and he was doing good. He had a peel mask on, and he was in his robe. I guess they called him
like
at an all-time, a facial. He had a facial on, and we just sat outside and talked. We just talked.
Did he know you were coming by?
No, he didn't know.
You decided to surprise him?
I was on the way home, and I was like, I'm passing his house, I'm just going to stop by. I don't think we've ever really communicated over the phone. It's just like I'll see him, or he'll come by my house, and we'll hang out, or whatever, or whatnot.
How do you know him?
I know him from Peppers. We used to go up there because we're right down the road from Peppers. So we being my husband and I, and so we met him at the back bar and just clicked. Like I can't even forget his birthday because he's like literally 2 months and 9 days off from my birthday, and we were talking about how same generation, the same stuff, kidding about different colors, Converse, stuff like that. We really didn't have that close of a relationship. He was just someone that I could talk to.
What about he and your husband? How was their relationship?
They had a good relationship. Yeah, I mean, at first they were better friends than he and I were, and then I don't know if my husband just started to get jealous of him and I, like, he gets jealous, but so I was like, okay, and that's what he doesn't know. I went over there that night. He was at the house, I'm like, I don't want him to get upset with me for going over there, and
nothing intimate happened.
Nothing intimate happened. We hugged, I think, twice. We never really talked about we flirted, but it never, went too far. That facial was throwing me off. It wasn't very sexy at the time.
That is weird.
And he had that on the whole time? He didn't?
The whole time we were talking.
I don't know anything about facials. I don't know if that's a long time to have one on or not.
It was dried. It was ready to come off.
Was it like a clay mask or like a peel-off?
It was a peel. And he was in this big terry cloth robe. And I was like, ooh, I like this robe, it's soft.
Did you have to, go knock on the door? Did he just come out when you...
I went knock.
Went in?
Never went in. We just sat right outside, and my car was parked in the driveway, and we were both leaning up against it.
How long were you there?
It could have been 30 minutes. It could have been an hour.
What all did y'all talk about?
We just talked about, his restaurant, his parents, what he plans on doing next. Because he kept telling him, just because this one closed doesn't mean another restaurant's going to come open. Because that, was a big... That really hurt his ego, and, got him upset. And I don't like seeing people upset like that. And I knew that he could do it. He was stronger. He's young. He's got so much support. His parents, his friends.
How did he seem? And I ask you this because I know he's been using a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's another thing that brings, cause of concern. And so I was like, okay, he's getting his deep. It's spiraling out of control now. So that's, stopped by. We just talked about that.
Did he happen to mention any issues he was having?
He's been having a lot of issues. That's all I keep hearing is that he owes money to whoever he's getting these pills from. And the habit was like so bad. We're like, that's why I'm worried about you. You can't do that many and still even have a pulse right now.
Right. So you think his habit was excessive?
Very, very excessive. I mean, it would have to be hundreds of dollars a day habit.
Did anybody else stop by while you were there? Anybody else at the house while you were there?
I don't know. I mean, I know his dog was there. He said someone was inside, but I don't know who it was. And then I left, and I went and got 2 bottles of Pinot Noir. And I know this is a bad call of judgment, but I did open that wine. My husband hasn't had a drink in over a year as of September 1st, and he doesn't like for me. I don't want to bring it around him, so I kind of rode around and drank on that bottle of wine. And
where did you ride around to?
A little bit of, just kind of stay it close to home, but 46 and the farm area and back through his neighborhood. Like, I think I went back through there maybe one time and then started heading home.
Let me ask you something. Would it surprise you if I told you that there's a rumor out on the street that somebody tried to set your husband up to be robbed?
Would I believe that? I would believe that.
Did that happen?
I think what happened could have been a setup.
What happened?
The door got kicked in.
When was that?
Yeah, it's been about over a month. Husband's at home, laying in the bed, and then the door kicks in, and they're like, freeze, mother. And 2 shots went, and then my husband dove off of the bed and went into my closet, turned the lights off, closed the door. He didn't have anything to protect himself, so he closed himself off. And I was there, right after they were. The door was wide open. Nothing was touched, which I thought was very strange. So then I go looking around. I found one of their shell casings.
So they were shooting at y'all?
They shot twice, but I don't even know. It was there's something in the ceiling. I don't know if it was just a scare tactic or what, because no problem ever since.
If 2 people or 3 people or 4 people show up at your house to rob you or to do whatever they were going to do, okay? Your husband was lucky enough to survive, okay? How do we know these people didn't go to John's house to do the same thing? You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking for that information.
Yeah.
Whatever is there, we need to know so that we can look at it and say, okay, are there similarities in this versus this? You're good friends with John, your husband, Josh, all of these guys. I mean, technically could be susceptible to the same thing.
You're right. I didn't think about those same guys going back over there and doing that. I mean, he owes people money. They could have very well been the same people. But it was word on the street. No one knew who it was, and no one wanted to come up and say they knew anything.
Why would they pick you up? I mean, it's not like...
From what I hear on that one is that someone went and told them that we were sitting on all kinds of money and this and that. And that's, why I was so confused. I'm like, we don't have any money. Why would you just go off of someone, what they're saying, and not have any proof?
Do you think that John could have been the one that set you guys up?
Well, I don't think so. I think that he would do that.
He owes people money. They want to collect.
Who has the money? You might think we have the money.
I mean, does that make sense to you?
I'm wrapping my head around that. I just didn't think he was in that deep. I really didn't think that. But I guess people will do anything over $20.
So, from what we've been told, your husband found out that John set him up because John was hard up for money. And John thought everybody in the house.
But we never thought John was hard up for money. He always had money.
Well, I'm not saying you thought John was hurting for money, but I'm saying that John was hurting for money. And your husband was under the impression John set up the O'Neill's house.
Well,
Because wasn't John over there just a little bit prior to them all coming in?
Yeah, they were all hanging out.
We know that your husband's one of the people that John would buy from, especially if he needed a little weed or something like that. Maybe a few pills. So, John believes that y'all have money in the house. He's over at the house that night. We know that he was acting, by your husband's orders, acting suspicious that night. He leaves. Shortly after he leaves, the door gets kicked in. I'm talking like maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes. After he leaves, the door gets kicked in.
It was that.
And then these guys come in, start shooting. For some reason, they just start shooting. They don't steal anything. They don't wreck the place. What in fact happened was your husband shot back and scared them off. They take off. And besides the fact that your husband can ask around and probably figure it out, he knows that John was there just moments before all this happens. Okay? So John obviously set him up. He confronts John about it. And John, for whatever reason, is completely honest. Like, yeah, man, my bad, basically. Because we have John's phone records and John's texts. He's like, my bad. I apologize. You should probably go after those guys, not after me, because they're the ones that actually did it. I'm just in a bad spot. And then we've got other texts from John where he's talking about what he did. Everything went bad. Now he has no money because the thing that he was trying to do didn't work out.
Get the money from us, is what you're saying, that didn't work out.
He was going to get a cut of it. So we know all that. Okay? And we know that your husband knew. And from the sounds of it, you and your husband talk a lot. Y'all share a lot.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Your husband has guns, too.
I didn't know that he had text messages verifying any of that. I didn't know that. No. Or the gun. Or this little buying pills here and there. I mean, I didn't know about any of that. I don't know if he... Oh, my God.
When we asked if he let your husband could have done this, the normal response to something like that is, oh, no, absolutely. Your response to that is, that is not it's not something that comes from somebody who's convinced of the whole person's innocence. You said that you were at his house, and then you said you drove back past his house. What time do you think that was when you drove back past his house?
11:30, maybe like 11:30, 11:45. And I was home and passed out within like minutes once I got home.
Well, there's actually a security camera. So you actually left out of there the second time. The car was there with you in it right before and right at the time that it happened. So what are you not telling us here? Because we know that there is a good bit more. Because there's a lot that that we know that we haven't told you yet, but there's obviously a lot that you know that you haven't told us.
I mean, I'm like rattling my brain at what it could be. I'm not quite sure what I know that I don't know exactly what I know to tell. I mean,
were you by yourself the other night you were in progress?
Yes.
The first time. What about the second?
Yes. I never went anywhere else. It was just me. I didn't stop, pick anybody up, nothing. I definitely didn't have anyone in my car. I had my work clothes in there, my purse, shoes. I mean, call anybody. No. Call anybody. If I did, I really can't remember after all the alcohol. I did not know that. It was my car.
No, it's your car.
It's your car. We can see you in it.
I feel like this is turning into, do I need to get a lawyer?
Well, I mean, you're not in trouble.
I feel like my words are being twisted around, though.
There was some evidence found at the scene. There's actually things that were inside the gun. Every time you shoot a gun, things come out. Things get ejected. And we found two of those. Everybody puts an ammo inside guns. I'll just touch it. And DNA. I ask you, is there any reason the DNA is going to come back to your husband? Or is something that you know? Because I'm telling you, if you were just driving around, somebody was with you, and they just told you to stop, you didn't know what was going on, you need to let us know now. Okay? Because if you don't, then it makes it look like you have something to do with this.
Right.
And I don't want you to think that. I don't want you to feel like that. If you had no idea what was going to happen, if you had no idea that this was going to get out of hand, then you need to let us know. Okay? If you're trying to protect somebody, right now you got to take care of yourself. You need to protect yourself.
But really, I mean, I didn't get anybody. I didn't pick up anybody. I didn't do anything with anybody. I mean,
So there was nobody else in your car that night?
No.
Even though our video shows that there was somebody else in the passenger seat.
I mean, I don't know if there was my clothes. I'm not sure who would have
What do you mean
been
your clothes?
my work clothes hanging in there. I mean, that's
No, this was clearly a person with a face. Who was in your car? I'm not saying that they shot anybody, but there was somebody in your car. If you're giving somebody a ride somewhere, you gotta let us know. If it's somebody other than your husband, I'm not gonna go back and tell your husband, hey, guess what? She has somebody else in the car with her. You know, that's not what I do. Okay? So if you have somebody else in the car, let me know. Who else was in the car with you?
I don't recall anyone being in the car. I really don't. Like, I am rattling my brain as to trying to piece even where I drove, and I can't think of everything. I mean, maybe now is the time for me to go ahead and get my lawyer, because I feel like
I'm asking a simple question.
I'm confused as to what is going on, and I mean, I understand why I'm here, but I don't know why I would be put, like, as a suspect.
Well, because your car was within 10 feet at the same time of a homicide.
Well, you say 10 feet, and
Okay, well, within 10 yards. 10 yards of his house. Because there was one point when you did drive by, and shortly thereafter is when this happened. You think that that's a coincidence?
I mean, yeah, it could be a coincidence.
It could be. You asked for a lawyer, so I can't continue questioning until you get one. Okay? I do appreciate your cooperation. I appreciate you coming down here and taking the time to speak with us.
I'm sorry. I'm overwhelmed, and
Of course, no, I completely understand. You've been in the police department for a long time. You know, you're getting very specific questions. I understand. I don't blame you. I don't judge you. You know, but if there's a point in time,
I would love to have your card. So
sure.
Whenever.
Let me see if I have a card.
If there is something that I hear that I can share, I will.
Absolutely.
I will definitely do that.
Colette's husband, Sam Collins, came to the station. However, he did not come until the next morning. Investigators believe that this was so the couple could get their story straight.
How do you know John? What's your relationship with him? You know, I mean, how
just through mutual friends. I just met him through Josh. And at the time, you know, I had just got injured and I was seeking more medicine as well. So when I first hurt this leg over a year ago is when the hospital sent me out with basically no medicine. So I went on the hunt for medicine. And that's how I ended up getting intertwined with these people.
So you mentioned who would you buy the pills from? Same person that John would?
Isaiah Walker.
Did he have any street names or anything like that?
Talk. Yeah, like TikTok, because he takes forever.
That's the same thing Josh said. Your relationship with John. Do you guys ever have any issues?
He did end up asking me for money whenever those Sipman Cow things started falling off. He said he had some bills gone, he wanted to borrow some money. I did loan him some money. And we did have an issue with that, but he actually gave me this watch, which I've been wearing in his honor ever since.
I mean, we're not here to jam you up in any way,
yeah,
but I just need complete honesty from you, okay? Have you ever had anything in your house that you sold to him, such as narcotics or anything like that?
No.
You never sold him any drugs?
No.
Did you ever let him have any drugs that you had in the house before?
you mean you're not trying to jam me up? I mean, what kind of question? Why do you want to know?
What I'm saying is I'm not going to arrest you for distribution of whatever you gave him. I'm just trying to establish a relationship that you had with him.
Yes, he did come over, and I did give him some medicine from time to time, yes.
And did he pay for that medicine? Or did he give you, like, items like a watch?
Well, I think the reason he gave me this watch is because he knew he wasn't going to have any money, and it was sort of his way of buttering me up.
I got you.
And then he told me he was going to pay me later, and that was basically how our thing went. Which is like, well, I'll pay you later. You know I'm good for it because I got these stocks and this going on and these comic books, and you know about my watches, so why don't you just give me those and I'll pay you later. So I gave him some and gave him some and gave him some, and then he didn't pay me. That was somewhat our relationship because he knows I get medicine, so I can have it sometimes, and I knew other people, and he knew I knew Isaiah as well. So there was that relationship there because there was some of the time where I did have some of Isaiah's, and then he would come and get them and go to work or whatever.
Now, if he knew...
Actually, I think Isaiah might have been the first person that put me in touch with him, now that I think about it.
If you both knew Isaiah, why would he not go directly to Isaiah and go to you instead?
Convenience.
As far as location or
and
less money or
not less money, just less time.
That's obviously why you call him TikTok. Yeah, right. It takes a lot of time.
But I mean, I quit doing all that.
Tell me about your relationship with your wife. You guys been married for how long?
14 years.
14 years. Did you guys have like a rocky point somewhere?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
A couple years ago. She just. We were having issues, and I think with her it might have been some addiction issues she was having with pills, and I was trying to get her to stop, and she didn't want to stop, so...
She was addicted to pills?
Yeah, from her cancer. And I was just trying to get her to stop, but when she gets in that mind frame, there's no stop, there's F you, because you want me to stop, or you're trying to stop me. And that's the way she was then, because whenever she went through cancer, they gave her so much medicine, it was ridiculous. And then afterwards, I tried to help her to get off of it, and it wasn't very much longer that she ended up taking off. But she ended up going up to Augusta, and I saw on her phone that she'd been talking to another man, and I figured out who it was. And it turns out that it was her stepmother's brother, which was just terrible to me. Okay, so we split up for about a year and some change, almost 2 years, and got back together in the middle of it for a little bit, but then, trying to think, she came back in April, not last April, but I believe the April before, so we've been together ever since then. Things have been good.
How was her relationship with John?
I don't know. I mean, I know that he took a liking to her, that I could tell a little bit. They were smoking a cigarette on the porch together one day, and he came in and he goes, "Oh, she's just so nice and so sweet and pretty. You're so lucky." Just that.
And how'd that make you feel?
Good.
Good. Well, anytime somebody compliments your girl, you feel good, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't feel he was stepping over the line or anything? It's just that he liked her?
It was a compliment to me.
I gotta ask you, are you aware that she was over his house the night he was murdered?
She did mention to me when she came home that she stopped by there. Why did she tell you she didn't tell me?
No, I don't know if you knew or not. That's what I'm asking you, if you knew that she was over.
She told me that she stopped by.
Does she normally stop by his house?
That's what I asked her.
Yeah.
And she said no. She said she just wanted to stop by just because she was concerned about him or whatever.
Now, Tuesday night, where were you?
I was at home. You were at home with my son and
what
mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law was home too. Remember what time she came in that night?
I think it was like 1:30 or so.
1:30? Okay.
Maybe. I mean, because she woke me up briefly, but I didn't really.
You remember her demeanor?
She was drunk.
She was drunk?
Yes.
Where did she say she was drinking at?
I didn't really ask.
You didn't ask?
I just assumed it was at work, and then, I don't know, at that point in time at night, I just didn't get into it, really. I just kind of went back to bed and figured she'd talk about it the next day.
She didn't tell you why she was late coming home? What time did she normally come home?
sometimes it is kind of late like that.
Okay.
But I don't, you know,
So
because she works at Secession, so sometimes the guys will stay out there and drink late. I mean, I did ask her the next day, have you been going over there? I was like, because Josh called me and told me what happened, and then I was like, and then she said, well, I was over there last night, and I was like, why were you over there? Like, what the heck are you doing over there? And that's when she told me. And well, I stopped by because I was concerned. I was like, well, is this something that you've been doing? I was like, because I would like to know.
Right. Do you think that she might have been intimate with him?
I sure hope not.
I mean, because, and not to bring up a sore subject with you, but you remember her behavior when she dealt with your stepmom's son. Did she kind of exhibit the same behaviors over the past couple of weeks with John?
No, I mean, I wasn't suspicious of her.
You know her more than anybody, that's why I'm asking. You know, if you notice any different in her change in her behavior or anything like that.
No, and she can't really have sex that well because of her, the procedures they did when she had cancer. Sex is not really the first thing on her mind.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, she likes to be treated nice and, you know, for me to be nice to her and kiss on her, you know, and stuff like that, and hugging, but...
Let me ask you something, and our job is not only to develop suspects, it's also to eliminate them, and that's why we're here, and that's why I appreciate you being here. A couple of things that I asked if you would give us consent for is, one, your DNA, and then two, would you give us consent to search your house and your vehicle?
No.
You want to give us consent to search your house and vehicle?
No, that's just...
Okay.
Feels like invasion of my privacy, and
that's fine, that's why we asked for consent. I figured I'd ask, you know, again, that just helps eliminate you more.
Sam's DNA sample was collected and kept as evidence. After the interviews with Sam and Colette, detectives were at a standstill. They knew who their suspects were. They just needed more evidence to keep the investigation going. On November 4th, a Bluffton police officer performed a traffic stop on Sam Collins' vehicle.
How are you, sir? I'm Officer Fayette Police Department. You have a driver's license, registration, and insurance, please. The reason I'm stopping you is for two reasons, partner. One, you're doing 40 in a 25 school zone, and the other is you don't have any taillights.
The school zone?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
I'm 10-4.
I don't have any taillights.
You got one brake light. Yeah.
Oh, one brake light?
Yeah.
He does currently have coverage on the 92 Ford Thunderbird.
All right.
Alright, and what was that about a warrant?
He's got 3 active with county.
They want him?
We're going to find out in a minute. You ever heard of him before? Samuel Collins?
Sounds familiar. What's the warrant for?
Breaking into a motor vehicle.
Trespass, burglary, larceny.
They're coming for him. He's taking a ride, one-way trip to the Great Bar Hotel. We're going to handcuff him here in a second. Mr. Collins.
Yeah.
You shut your car for me real quick, bud?
Yeah.
Just hop on that with me real quick.
What? Why?
I'll explain to you when you step out of the car, okay? Okay.
What's going on?
Like I said before, I'll explain it to you when you step out here. Walk back here? Yeah, walk back here. Get your drink up there real quick. Alright. Do you have anything on your person at all?
No.
Mind if I check you out real quick?
Go ahead.
Alright, put your hands right up here on the car for me, okay?
Why am I being pulled out?
Well, you've got 3 active arrest warrants with Beaufort County.
For what?
Petty larceny, breaking into a motor vehicle, and that's all the ones I know about right now. And there's another reason I'm going to talk to you about here in just a second, okay? Like I knew I could smell weed. Alright, just put your hands right behind your back, okay? put your palms together, it'll be more comfortable. Go ahead and have a seat, okay? Best you can. Put this shotgun shell back in the car.
What gauge is that?
12.
What kind?
Winchester. Then we just have a murder with a shotgun?
Yeah, we did. They recovered 2 casings, I believe, or something like that.
Sam was charged with simple possession. The arresting officer told detectives he found a shotgun shell on Sam. Detectives got a warrant to search Sam's car. They found 1 shotgun shell on a phone and logged both as evidence. Detectives then got a warrant for the home Sam shares with Colette on Buck Point Road. Colette was there. She seemed surprised and was rude to investigators. Inside the house, detectives saw shotgun holes in several places and a shooting target above the bed with many holes. They found something that looked like a shotgun, but it turned out to be a BB gun used by their son. No real guns were found, but they did collect several shotgun shells. However, those shells did not match the type used in John's murder. Detectives also seized multiple cell phones. On Sam's phones, detectives found a serious text he sent to a friend less than 2 hours after John was killed. In short, it said, "Put a gun in the back of the truck, plan a late-night ride, and keep it between us." 2 days later, Sam texted the same person again, "You haven't seen me. I haven't seen you." Detectives got a warrant for the phone number Sam texted. The number belonged to William Cody Brown. Based on the messages, police obtained a search warrant for Cody's house. He lived in the farm neighborhood, the same area Colette admitted driving to the night of the murder. In Cody's garage, detectives found camouflage clothing, a camouflage shotgun, 1 fired shotgun shell, and several unfired shells. Bluffton police seized those items. Cody was then taken to the station for an interview.
Scared for his life and going to borrow that shotgun. Okay, but it's, it's my baby. Please don't let nothing happen to it. I wake up the next morning and I got a message that he put it in the back of my truck. And I was like, didn't it rain last night? And I was like, what the heck is he doing? I go back there and it was, it's still loaded and the safety was off of it. So I unloaded it and put it up. It had the cement around. It hadn't been injected. You still have that smoke? I think the cement round still.
Cody told police that a couple weeks earlier, Sam Collins asked to borrow his 12-gauge shotgun for protection. Cody let him use it. Police sent the camouflage shotgun for DNA and ballistics testing. While waiting for the lab results, detectives rewatched the neighborhood videos from just before the murder. The suspect car drove past John's house and turned left onto Masters Way, going out of view. This time, detectives noticed a red glow of brake lights reflecting on the wet road. There was no traffic, so they asked, why did the car stop? This was a few minutes before the shooting, when detectives believed Colette dropped Sam off to confront John. Right before the shooting, the same car passed John's house again and continued on to Masters Way. Just after it left the frame, detectives again saw the brake light reflection. They believe this is when Colette picked up Sam after shooting. Using the location of the shell casings in the backyard and the timing seen from the brake lights, detectives tested how long it would take someone to walk through the pine trees to John's backyard, find John sitting with his friend, fire 2 shots, and then run back. They decided there was enough time for that to happen. On November 12th, the DNA results came back. Sam Collins' DNA was found on the shotgun's magazine cap, the trigger/grip area, and the stock. Sam's DNA was also on the camouflage clothing wrapped around the shotgun. The chance of a random person matching that DNA was 1 in 2.4 sextillion, an extremely tiny chance. On November 23rd, the ballistics results came back. The shotgun found in Cody's garage matched the spent shells found in John's backyard. Based on the DNA and ballistics, police got arrest warrants for Sam Collins and Colette Collins for the murder of Jonathan. Police also got a warrant charging Sam with possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Officers also went to the Buck Point Road home to arrest Colette. She was arrested on her front porch without any trouble. while being put in the patrol car. Colette said she wanted to talk to a detective without a lawyer when she got to the station. Another detective met with John's family and told them about the arrests. Then detectives escorted Colette into an interview room.
After I left John's, I went home, and we got into a fight, Sam and I.
What was the fight about?
I don't even remember everything. He was mad that I went to John.
So this was before or after Parker's?
This was after Parker's. I went to Parker's, and I went home with the wine, and he was upset with me because I had already gone to John, and I had never talked to John without Sam around. So he automatically thought something was up when there wasn't anything, but I was just concerned. I was truly concerned for John. And I didn't know any of this had happened until I saw it in the news. And I just knew, I didn't know what to do. I was scared. And so I go to leave, and he grabs me, and you're not going anywhere without me, and, chases me down, gets in the car, and then at that point,
So you actually got in the car and were pulling away?
Yes. Okay. And at that point, I didn't want to take the fight back to the house because of Chase being there and everything, and we rode around talking.
Where the argument happened at that point?
A lot of it was outside on the front porch. And he was getting really loud, and, I couldn't control him, so I just was like, I'm out of here. And he ended up getting in the car. Chased me down, got to the car. We didn't go too far. And then I was like, okay, I gotta get some sleep. I've gotta be at work at 8 in the morning. I don't need this shit. Nothing's going on. Nothing, you have nothing to worry about with the Johns or anyone. And, I did step out in our marriage before. And so that's always, I still would get that flack from him constantly. I didn't know whenever he got the gun what was going to happen. And I know that we went back to the house. And he had been carrying that gun since Cody gave it to him for protection from the door getting kicked in. And, he was constantly paranoid about someone coming back. And so he had that gun, and then he was like, well, let's go talk to John. I want to confront him about you. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And we rode around, and and I'm like, I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what to do. And we ended up getting into more of a fight, and I threw my hands up and told him to get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my car. And I left. And then he called me and said, I need you to come get me. And I had no idea what happened, what was going on. He just kept saying, let's go. Come on, let's go. Where are you? And, I'm like, what the fuck did you do? Did you talk to John? What did he say? I was like, did you hear what he had to say? Because I know that him and I had nothing going on. And he wouldn't say anything to me. Went home. I slept on the couch, and he slept in the bed. I got up and went to work the next day, not knowing what transpired. Then whenever he called me to come pick him up, he was on Masters. He's at Masters.
Right there next to Pinecrest.
And he said, I'm like, what's going on? Have you calmed down? What, and he's just like, fine, nothing. He didn't want to fight with me anymore. It was, take me here to Cody's house. He threw that thing back there. I was like, well, why are you getting rid of it? That's what you've been having for protection. Why all of a sudden do you not want it anymore? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And at what point did you realize what had happened?
After work the next day. I saw it on the news.
Why didn't you come forward at that point?
I was scared. He knew I had figured it out. There were so many times I had your card and I wanted to call you, and I I'm scared of him.
Back to when you said you and Sam got in the car and Sam had the gun with him. What kind of gun was that? What did it look like? Camouflage shotgun. Okay. So where did you drop him off so he could go talk to John?
That's what we're trying to. I can't remember exactly where.
Okay.
I thought it's close to his buddy's house in Pine Ridge.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Now you've been to John's house before. You already told us that.
Yes.
You told us that a couple weeks ago too.
Yes.
So you know where John's house is.
Yes.
You know how to get there.
Yes.
You know how to get there and get to Cody's house.
Not really. Like, I'd have to be on the road to do it. I'm not too familiar with all that.
So you, as you're going towards John's house, so Sam could confront John, you dropped him off in front of his house? Because you passed by his house.
No. I know it wasn't near John's house. Can you tell me what is going to happen to me?
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk to you about all that. You just gotta get this written down, and then I'll talk about a couple of other things. Okay, I'll answer any questions you need to. Okay.
What is it? I mean,
that's going to depend on a lot of different things. But let's finish this up.
I don't want to get in trouble for something that I didn't do. Can we talk about what's gonna happen? I don't want to get in trouble for not coming forward. I know I should have come forward, but what is gonna happen? I mean,
okay, I understand that.
This is not me, like I've never been in any trouble, and I've tried to get away from him, and now I'm wrapped up in something that, I just want to move forward from and take care of my son, and, I gotta go through, cancer treatment. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on.
All right, well, here's the thing. I know that I told you what you're charged with. South Carolina, if you assist in a murder but don't actually pull the trigger, you're still charged with murder. That's what
but I didn't assist.
I understand. Let me just explain, because we haven't gotten your side of the story before this, right? So we've been having to, we've been looking at the evidence and doing our own thing here. The thing is, I know you're telling me you want to come clean with us now and tell us everything, but I already know you're not telling me the complete truth.
You asked what's going to happen. Right now, what's going to happen is you're being charged with murder, okay? You're going to jail for murder. This is your opportunity to be upfront and honest about everything with Detective Odom and I. Because here's the thing. We have your statement. I can already tell you that items in that statement are not true, okay? Like your phone calls, your text messages.
I don't remember. I mean, okay. I know you have the records. I don't remember those, verbatim.
Okay, and that's fine. You may not remember them verbatim. But the thing is you remember what you did the night with Sam. The night that John was killed.
For instance, you say you stopped at a stop sign, were arguing with them, told him to get the fuck out. But you're saying you were somewhere near, you dropped them off somewhere near Pine Ridge or something like that, but we have you on security camera. Stopped at the stop sign in Pinecrest, right next to John's house. We have you take a left, and your brake lights come on. And we can't see who gets out of the car, but we know you dropped somebody off there. And then you go down Masters Way, you take a left on McCracken Circle. Hold on, I'm letting you know what we've got, so you can try to be a little bit more clear about this. You go left on McCracken Circle, you go all the way down, you come back, come in Pinecrest on the back way, which is when we can see your face in the car, because that security camera on that entrance is angled in such a way that we can see that. You come all the way back around. Now you're driving slowly past John's house with your window down. This is after you've dropped off Sam. And we can see on the camera the two shotgun blasts as you're right in front of John's house. Okay, so we know you heard the shotgun blasts.
No.
Then you go and you stop at the stop sign again. You wait for 20-ish seconds, 23 seconds. Just enough time for Sam, who's obviously got a limp, he can't run, to walk back to Masters Way at which point you turn left, we see your brake lights come on again, you pick him up. We have a witness who saw Sam walking towards Masters Way, and he saw him get into a car. It turns out there were no other cars at that time because we have the security camera, so we know there were no other cars. Saw him get into the car and saw you peel out and go away. So you were right in front of John's house when the shotgun went. So we know you heard it.
I didn't know. No, I didn't know that was what was going on. I swear to God.
So when you
I'm
heard the
trying
gunshots,
to
what did you think
remember
happened?
everything that happened in the roads, and I can't remember.
Let's forget about that. When you heard the shotgun.
I don't remember hearing shotguns.
So when Sam got out of your car in front of near John's house with a shotgun, and then got back into your car with a shotgun, and you heard those shots, what did you think happened?
I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what happened. I don't remember hearing shotguns. I really don't remember hearing anything like that.
Okay, so what did Sam tell you happened when he got back in your car from John's house with that shotgun in his hand?
He didn't tell me anything happened. He wouldn't tell me details on anything. It wasn't until after I went to work and came home and then saw him again that shit started coming out.
If you were taking Sam over there to talk to John, that's the plan, for him to talk to John, and for whatever reason you think it's okay, he's got a shotgun to go talk to John, why did you think that Sam went behind the houses? Instead of going up to John's front door and going to talk to him, which is the way if you're going to talk to somebody, you go to the front door, Sam goes behind the houses.
I don't remember seeing him go behind the houses.
And that's where you picked him up from, too. We know you stopped at that stop sign and waited till you could see him come out from behind the houses and then turn left on Masters Way.
I don't remember seeing him go behind the houses.
Call it.
I swear to God, I am being honest here. I don't want to go.
I'm going to stop you, okay? And the reason I'm going to stop you is because this is your opportunity. Again, I'm going to say, this is your opportunity to do the right thing, okay? What happened, happened. But this is your chance to do the right thing. Because today, I had to look a mother in the face and tell her that her son was killed. She already knew that. And we had to tell her that again. So I want you to stop and think as a mother how you would feel if that happened to Sam or happened to your son Chase. Wouldn't you want the person sitting in this room right now to tell the truth? So stop lying to me. Stop lying to Detective Odom. Because here's the thing. You're going to jail. And what you do in this room will determine how things go. I can't tell you that I'm going to get you out of a murder charge. We can't do that. We're not prosecutors. We're not attorneys. But the truth in this room goes a long way. So I want you to stop and think about your son. Because that's what John was to somebody else. He was a son.
So let's go over this again. You go to your house. You told Sam that you went to see John. So Sam's angry. What specifically is he saying? Now that he's found that you went over to John's house, this guy that he is certain is responsible for y'all's door getting kicked in and Sam almost getting killed. Sam's certain that John did that. Sam told us that in the first interview, that he knew John was responsible for that. So Sam finds out you just went to John's house. Sam's a jealous guy anyway, and this is the guy that almost got Sam killed, and potentially the rest of your family if y'all had been home. So what did Sam say when you tell him you went to John's house?
He accused me of, sleeping with John, and I told him no, and he even went as far as to check my underwear to see what they looked like, and check to see if I had shaved my leg or that down there.
What did he say specifically about John? I mean, is he, knowing Sam, he's obviously going to be ranting about...
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think. I don't remember the specifics, It was just, why did you go over there? Why would you do that to me? You're making me look like a fool for talking to him without me there.
What about after y'all go back home, and then he gets riled up again, and he grabs his shotgun? At that point, what's he say?
I'm going to go confront him about y'all. I'm going to go confront him about the door and who did it. And he was thinking that he was going to find out who kicked in our door by threatening John with the gun. I don't think he intended...
Let me tell you about that. Because what happened when he got there, he didn't say one word to John. Because there was a witness out on the porch right next to John. Your husband didn't say word one. They didn't even see him. All they heard was the shotgun rack and the 2 shotgun blasts. And John didn't even hear the blast because the first one hit him in the face. All right? So the guy sitting next to him had brains all over his shirt. All right?
So, Colette, I want you to think again. I want you to think real hard. Okay? You take Sam over to that house with a shotgun, knowing he's going to confront John. You drove around the block. You come back and you're in front of the house. 2, not 1, but 2 shotgun blasts go off. And then your husband gets back in your car.
Tells you he's got to go drop the shotgun off at somebody's
at Cody's house.
I thought that I didn't know that he did that. I didn't know that he did that. I thought that he just did it to scare him.
Did what to scare him?
Shoot the gun. That's what he told me.
When did he tell you that?
When he got in the car. Whenever I was questioned, because I heard it and I was freaking out, and he didn't want to tell me, I guess, what happened, and I thought that he was going over there to confront him and scare him and find out who did it, because he then was talking about going after them, and that's why he wanted to take the gun. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So when you dropped him off, was the plan for you to circle back around and he'd wait till he saw you, and then he'd scare him, and then he'd come on back out?
Yeah.
So that's why you drove slowly past so he'd see that was you. Fire the shotgun, scare him, get whatever information you need to get.
When did Sam tell you he killed him?
Like, after, oh gosh, it was the next day in, like, the evening.
So a day goes by, and Sam tells you that he killed John.
I saw what happened on the news.
Okay.
And that he was dead.
Okay.
And I started freaking out.
Okay.
And questioning him if he did it.
So you started questioning Sam about it, and what did Sam say?
He said, you better not tell anybody anything.
Sam's reason for this was that it was revenge for the hit on y'all's house. Did Sam say that that was his purpose when he went over there? He went there to kill him?
No.
What was the conversation in the car on the way to John's house?
We were still arguing about if I had sex with John, if I'd ever talked to him before on the phone or texted him, and I hadn't. And then, we were like almost there, and I was wanting to turn around because I don't like this. And he was slamming my head up against the window so hard. It was ringing my ear. It was so hard.
So he tells you...
He says, well, let's just go over there so I can confront him and threaten him, intimidation with this gun. And I said, I didn't even know if he had bullets for the thing. I thought it was going to be an intimidation factor. And he didn't want me to go in because he didn't want me in the middle of the gun. And if John had his pistol, and if the roommate had his pistol, and...
Well, I'm going to stop you, okay? And the reason I'm going to stop you is, my question is, if you knew he was only going over there to scare him, why'd you drop him off in the wood line?
That was when he didn't want me to be seen. I don't know. He said, I just want to show up over here and scare him.
So, I guess what I'm getting at then is, so when you're driving, is Sam telling you go here, or he tells you go to John's house?
He was telling me which way he wanted me to go.
How did he know that John was on the back porch?
I don't know. I don't know.
When you dropped Sam off on the back road behind John's house, how did Sam know that he was going to be on the back porch?
I don't think he knew that he was going to be on the back porch. I think he was going to scare him, and he happened to be on the back porch smoking.
So if Sam shows up, he gets back there, and John's not on the back porch, what's Sam's move going to be?
Knock on the back door.
Knock on the back door?
Or go in the back. I don't know I don't know. Whenever we got to Cody's, he told me to stop and let him out. He got out, and I couldn't tell what he was doing, and then I knew he threw something in the back of Cody's truck and told me to turn around and pick him up. I want to give you the truth. I don't want...
Well, that's what
I want justice for John. And I want it to be right.
So the night that y'all's door got kicked in, you would play a lot of Sam's guns in that shed? Is that what you're talking about? That's a building? And John knew about that?
Yeah. Sam was going off on a bender, drinking and drugs, and had been acting all kinds of crazy. And there happened to be one still in the house. And Sam found it, and then that's how all of the rest of it transpired. It kicked in the door. He said he heard mother and freeze, and he was in the bedroom. They came around, he shot. No one else was there. I come there literally 5 minutes after it happened. Doors wide open, dogs are gone. So John was the last person that was there that day, and he saw me walk those guns up.
That's just about everything. I'm going to stick you back in the cell real quick. We're going to finish up some paperwork we got to do here, and then we'll transport you. Okay?
Detectives took Colette to the Beaufort County Detention Center. Sam was already there on his drug possession charge. Detectives served Sam with the murder warrants and explained the evidence. They read him his rights. At first, Sam said he would talk, but soon after the interview started, he asked for a lawyer. At trial, prosecutors told the jury this timeline. Colette knew John was having problems with his restaurant. She went to John's house to check on him. She spent about 50 minutes with him in the front yard. On the way home, she bought wine at a gas station and drank for about an hour. When she got home, Sam found her drunk. He asked where she'd been. She said John's house. Sam had been cheated on by Colette before and thought it was happening again. He was also angry because he believed John had a role in a past attempted robbery at their home. Sam got very angry and told Colette they were going to confront John. He took his friend Cody's 12-gauge shotgun. Colette drove Sam to John's neighborhood and dropped him off on a nearby street, Masters Way. Out of camera view, Sam went through the trees to John's backyard, shot John, and then ran back. Colette picked him up, and they left. They put the shotgun in the bed of Cody's truck, and then went home. The jury found Samuel Collins guilty of murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. He was sentenced to 50 years. Colette kept to a new version of her story. She said she only dropped Sam off and thought he would just talk to John, not kill him. With no proof against that claim, her charges were reduced to accessory after the fact, helping after crime. Later, Sam agreed to testify against Colette. He said he told her right away, as soon as he got back in the car, that he had shot John and that Colette helped get rid of the shotgun. With Sam's testimony, Colette Collins was found guilty of accessory after the fact and was sentenced to 15 years. Police found no one else involved in John's murder. John's friend Drew Franklin said he is angry John's life was stolen and that John's family had to suffer. He wants people to remember John as the funny, welcoming guy who brought people together with a bright future that was cut short. For more videos of crimes never before seen on YouTube, click the subscribe button and don't forget to like our videos.